The campaign for the May elections is heating up, and the race for the Senate promises to be a battle royale. Who among the candidates are on the right track to win a seat in the magic circle of 12? And how will local candidates boost the chances of those running for the Senate? Joining us tonight is Professor Popoy de Vera, one of the country's top political analysts and Vice President for Public Affairs of the University of the Philippines. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, the campaign for the Senate has been in progress in recent weeks. President Aquino has led Team Pinoy in different sorties to push their bids so they will win. Is this the advantage with Team Pinoy?
The advantage appears on the side of Team Pinoy now because they've had more sorties in key provinces compared to Una. But it's still too early to see the overall impact of the presence of the President or on the other side, the Vice President and the Senate President, because they have tended to go to the big provinces where the Una versus LP battle is clear and imminent. No? What will swing it over the next couple of months is when the local campaign starts, and that is where you will see the impact of the political parties and the candidates at the local level who will carry either a clear slate or carry some from the Una and some from the LP. So it's still too early to tell, although definitely the presence of the President helps Team Pinoy.
Sir, the Una decided to drop Senators Loren Legarda, Francis Escudero, and Mary Grace Polla Manzares from its lineup. Is this a plus or a minus for the candidates?
It's inevitable that down the line, they'll have to choose sides. From the start, I have always asserted that it would be impossible to have common candidates on both sides the way the campaign was shaping up. So this is actually a bonanza for Team Pinoy because 2 out of the 3 common candidates are clearly extremely strong in the surveys, and this is Chis Escudero and Loren Legarda, and Grace Po is fast catching up. So the balance of power in terms of those that are strong in the survey has tilted significantly in favor of Team Pinoy because you now count the 3 on the side of the LP rather than count them on both sides.
Sir, if we review the political map, what are the bailiwicks of Team Pinoy and Una?
The bailiwicks are in areas where the incumbents are very strong and the incumbents are clearly associated with either the Una or the LP. For example, clearly in Pangasinan, the Una is stronger at this point because Governor Espino is a member of the National People's Coalition and is aligned with the Una more than the Liberal Party. You can also see, for example, in Laguna, that Governor E.R. Ejercito, per the surveys, is much stronger than San Luis. But there are also areas where the LP has become extremely strong. For example, in Cebu, more and more candidate Davide appears to be getting stronger because the major political families in Cebu have shifted towards the LP. The Duranos are now with the Liberal Party. The Ragasas of Lapu-Lapu City are now with the Liberal Party. The Celestino Martinez political clan in northern Cebu, particularly in Bugo, is now Liberal Party. So in the biggest province as far as votes are concerned, the Liberal Party appears to be getting stronger as the days go.
So we looked at Team Pinoy and Una. Now, what are the chances of those running independently?
As far as the independents are concerned, they have their task is made extremely difficult by the fact that it is very difficult to launch provincial sorties on your own. The magnitude of organizing people in one place, putting together an election platform or a program is very difficult. So they'll have to do smaller sorties in many areas, and that is a very tiring exercise. For the independent candidates, their best bet right now is to maximize television, attend all the debates on television, attend all the senatorial debates in the campuses of universities, maximize their position on issues so that the media will pick them up. That is the most cost-effective way of campaigning for the independent candidates at this point. I don't think they should think of approximating or trying to go into key provinces that the UNA and the LP are going into.
So now, looking at the last survey of both Pulse Asia and the SWS, most of the candidates in the winning column are from Team Pinoy. Who do you think in the list are sure winners?
If you look at the surveys and if the survey ratings hold, the top 5 or 6 are basically extremely strong, given that some of them already have support levels in the high 60s. So this would include the two front-runners, Chis Escudero and Loren Legarda. It includes Coco Pimentel. It includes Alan Cayetano, all the way to probably J.B. Ejercito, and to some extent you can bring in Cynthia Villar. These are very strong candidates who have maintained their position over the past couple of months. And the strategy for these candidates is to make sure that you don't go down. Lower than 7, it's a free-for-all because the ratings from number 7 all the way to number 15 are extremely close.
So right now it's up for grabs?
Yes.
The difference in percentage points are very close from 7 to 16.
Yes, from 7 to around 15 or 16, some of them are within the margin of error. Some of them are still catchable because remember, surveys show at this point what people or the respondents say they are going to choose at this point in time. The key is how do you convert this positive perception into actual votes come election day. And what comes in this shift are the strong support of local officials. What comes in is the way you project yourself on television. And of course, yung sipag at tiyaga mo. You know, you've got to attend all the sorties. I actually see a rather dangerous trend for some of the candidates of not accompanying the president or not accompanying the team areas. I think that is a dangerous practice if you keep on doing it.
Sir, now looking at the voting public and the voting groups, do you think the Iglesia vote will be committed to just one coalition or a mix of candidates from both coalitions?
The Iglesia vote at this point is not a factor yet because the Iglesia would start vetting the candidates quite close to election day. They do their own surveys, so they're going to see who is gaining strength, who is acceptable as far as the Iglesia is concerned. And historically, they've always mixed and matched candidates as the election comes clear. They approach it very scientifically because they have very good on-the-ground surveys. So it's not a factor. It's not even being thought of right now. It will come in much later in the campaign.
So and finally, sir, will local candidates boost the winning chances of a senatorial bet?
It depends on two things. It depends on how strong the local candidate is. Even if you're associated to a very committed local candidate, if that local candidate is going to lose the election or only gets 15% of the vote, then it's a very small percentage that you're trying to get for yourself as a senator. The best scenario is both candidates include you in their senatorial slate when they distribute sample ballots. The second best scenario is you're associated with a stronger candidate, and the worst scenario is you're either associated with a very weak candidate or neither of the candidates are inclined to really aggressively push for you. So the success of the senator would range from the best to the worst scenario open for him.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us tonight on NewsLife. That was Popoy de Vera, Vice President of Public Affairs of the University of the Philippines.